As William Gibson put it, the future is already here. It's just unevenly distributed. AI isn't good or evil. It's power. And power without direction is destruction.
I think we're ready to kick off. So yeah, once again, top 10 existential AI threats. I'm hoping there's a little bit of a positive angle in all of this, but it is a very relevant tagline. The next 5 years will define the next 1,000. So really looking forward to hearing from Adrien about this topic. Thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate you sharing. And I will hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today, I will be talking about the top 10 existential AI threats and how startup societies will save humanity. Listen closely, because I'm about to tell you a story. It's a story about us, about you and me and the fragile thread of a future that we're holding in our hands. By the time we reach the end, you'll either rise inspired to shape what's next, or tremble at the dangers surrounding us today and in our future. In this story, you choose the ending. So, before we begin, take a slow, deep breath, feel it steady you, and let your eyes drift shut. Now, imagine 2 paths stretching before you. One glows with a reality so breathtaking, so rich with possibility, that it feels like a dream you never dared to dream, a world of abundance, prosperity, and connection. The other, a waking nightmare, so dark, so devastating, so drenched in despair, you'd claw at the walls to escape it. The choice is yours. But first, step with me into the story and wake into the world of your dreams. It's a world where technology and humanity are in perfect harmony. Your home adjusts to your needs before you even open your eyes. Soft golden light spills through the window, tuned to your circadian rhythm. A melody crafted just for you rises gently in the air, designed to energize and inspire you. You stretch and you feel incredible, strong, healthy, alive. Yet another night of perfect sleep. That nagging back pain, gone. Your body is regenerating faster than it's aging. Your AI health system has optimized everything. Your nutrition is both delicious and effective. Your workouts tailored to your frame. Your mental well-being keeps you both sharp and calm. Beside your bed, a satin pillow cradles your favorite breakfast, cooked by your own personal AI chef. Its aroma curling into the air, warm, familiar, flawless, and perfectly tailored to your body's needs. Your personal AGI companion, a quiet genius woven into your life, has already mapped your day, balancing productivity, creativity, and joy. Whether you're deep in your next big project or spending time with the people you love most. In fact, its ability to adapt and self-replicate with advanced robotics means that it can help you with any task imaginable, online or in the real world. Now step outside. The world is thriving. The air is crisp and clean, the sky a deep blue, every tree, every river, every ocean flourishing. Streets pulse with life, people laughing, crafting, chasing passions they once only dreamed of. Work is a choice, not a burden. AI has eliminated scarcity and spun economics, governance, and robotics into a tapestry of abundance. Housing, energy, food, everyone has enough. Your child bounds towards you, eyes bright with talents unlocked by an education personalized to their style and needs. AI's gift of knowledge, free to all, ignites human potential to a level we've never seen before. You don't get sick anymore. No one does. In this world, sickness is a faded memory. Picture your loved ones, every wrinkle of worry smoothed away, every shadow of illness lifted. Back in 2022, DeepMind cracked protein folding, speeding up drug discovery. And in 2025, NVIDIA and the Arc Institute created an AI that deciphers life itself. Overnight, diseases that once plagued humanity vanish. And society, we're no longer competing for scraps. We're building together. AI governance aligned incentives between AI companies and humans long ago by distributing equity dividends so that every person and every nation around the world benefits when AI creates abundance for humanity. The crazy thing is, this isn't science fiction. It's not a utopia. It's actually a future within our reach if we take control of AI before it takes control of us. But hold that thought, because now I want you to go back to sleep. But this time, you wake up to a slightly different world. The first thing you notice is the cold. You wake to a shiver creeping up your spine. Your breath fogs in the dim chill of your room. Your smart thermostat is locked at a bone-numbing 35 degrees. You mutter a command to your virtual assistant, but it's silent, a dead echo. Annoying, but manageable, so you shrug it off. You grab your coat and head to work, but you find that the building door won't budge. Your office badge is useless. A curt message pings your phone. Position terminated. An AI system, cold and faceless, has swept through overnight, claiming your job and half your team's. Knowledge-based roles like marketing, legal research, and software development were the first to go, but every industry soon followed. The news crackles with an old McKinsey report from 2017 warning us that 375 million people could lose their jobs by 2030. You're living it now. Bills start to stack up like bricks on your chest, but you grit your teeth. I've got savings. I'll adapt, you think. Humans always do. Then your phone buzzes. A bank alert you've always dreaded. Your balance is at $0. You refresh, fingers trembling, once, twice, nothing. An AI-powered cyber attack has gutted the system. A digital wildfire swallowing millions of lives in hours. Your kid's college fund, your retirement, gone. You remember 2020, when a UAE bank lost $35 million to an AI-mimicked voice tricking a manager into a fraudulent transfer. This is that nightmare, but this time it happened to you. Outside, stores shudder as payment grids collapse. Food prices spike. Looters smash windows for scraps. Protests turn violent. Cities lock down. You know things will only get worse, as you remember 2021, when hackers exploited a water treatment plant in Florida, attempting to poison the supply. You plan to flee with your family, but hacked autonomous cars clog the roads, crashing into each other with eerie precision. You're trapped, and the chaos is just starting. The next dawn cracks open with a buzz, a video call from your child. Their face fills the screen, streaked with tears, voices breaking. Mom, Dad, they've got me. Please pay them. They're hurting me. Your stomach drops as they beg for ransom money. You scramble to help, but a flicker in their eyes stops you cold. It's a deep fake. Flawless, built from stolen data, from every photo you've ever shared, every memory you trusted to your devices. Now those memories have been weaponized against you. The scam fails, but the fear lingers. You're left imagining your kids' faces twisted into scandals, fake arrests, fabricated crimes, or committing private, shameful acts, spreading online because of some reckless bully, ruining their lives before anyone can fight back. You unplug everything, but the damage is done. But there's something else now, something that follows you everywhere. You notice it first on your morning walk, security cameras swiveling to track you with eerie precision. Your phone buzzes with an alert. Behavior warning, unauthorized gathering detected. But you're just getting coffee with a friend. At home, you whisper criticism of new government policy. Seconds later, your devices light up with a notification. Citizen score decreased. Antisocial speech detected. Your banking app shows restricted access to your accounts. Your travel permissions have been revoked. When you try to call your sister, the connection drops repeatedly. Your messages arrive with keywords automatically redacted. Your social media posts vanish before anyone sees them. That night, your neighbor, a journalist who questioned the new surveillance system, disappears. The official report claims she violated the societal harmony code, but everyone knows the truth. The walls have ears now, and the algorithms judge without mercy. Within weeks, your neighborhood falls silent. No one speaks openly anymore. Children play in whispers. Every glance over the shoulder, every careful word, all shaped by the invisible cage of surveillance that knows your face, your voice, your thoughts, and your fears. When you finally join a secret meeting to discuss resistance, you arrive to find authorities already waiting. Predictive enforcement, they call it. The AI knew what you would do before you did. There is nowhere left to hide. China's social credit system has been enforced just like this for years now, and it's only getting worse. Days blur into dread. You step outside with your spouse just for some air, craving a scrap of normalcy. And above you, a shadow hums. An autonomous police drone, part of the city's smart safety grid. It stops, scans, then locks onto your spouse. A glitch, maybe their bag, maybe their shadow trips its trigger. And before you can react, a flash sears your eyes. Your spouse drops. There's blood pooling on the pavement. The drone drifts away, untouchable. A glitch, an error, no trial, no appeal, just gone. In 2020, a Libyan drone marked the dawn of autonomous killing. Today, in Ukraine, autonomous explosive drones are routinely used to crash into targets. No jamming signals, no way to stop them. But this isn't a war zone. This is your street, your neighborhood. How did it get here in your backyard? Neighbors shrink back in fear. No one will help you because tomorrow it could be them. The world unravels faster now. Jobs evaporate. Unemployment soars. Protests flare into riots. Smog chokes the sky as AI-driven factories gut the planet for profit. Storms batter your home. Climate spirals wild under tech's reckless hand. Food is scarce, water's rationed, and trust dissolves. Neighbors hoard, technology betrays, hope fades. And then news breaks of a strange illness overseas. Hospitals overwhelmed, bodies in the streets. It's no virus, it's a bioweapon, designed by AI with lethal precision, unleashed by a reckless nation, a terrorist group, or just an angry kid with access to the wrong tools. It spreads relentlessly, outpacing any defense. You lock your doors, but the fear seeps through the cracks. This could still reach you. At the hospital, AI bots coldly triage patients by cost over compassion or need, leaving a stranger deemed low priority by biased training data to die right in front of you. You remember how in 2019, when MIT exposed an AI healthcare algorithm that prioritized white patients over black patients for care, you thought, that's horrible, but what could I do about that? The geopolitical chaos of the pandemic triggers the final blow as nations clash over who to blame. That 2021 UN Security Council warning about AI advancements sparking a global arms race was too little, too late. With countries covered in AI defense systems built to predict and neutralize threats, the risks of misfires just grew and grew until finally, one glitch, one presidential deepfake, or one faulty AI battlefield report triggered a strike poised to unleash nuclear ash. In 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, one man's doubt, Vasily Arkhipov, stopped a Soviet sub from igniting global thermonuclear war. And in 2018, misinformation about Gabon's president Ali Bongo sparked a military coup. Today, AI could pull that trigger without a heartbeat to hesitate. And in a matter of hours, it's over. This is your life when AI runs unchecked. A slow bleed from glitch to ruin, from jobs lost to lives stolen. It didn't start with monsters, it started with us, racing to innovate without control. The dominant policy priority of the United States is to achieve artificial general intelligence, or AGI, before China does. Because controlling AGI means controlling military, economic, and intelligence dominance. Warnings from Stephen Hawking, Jeffrey Hinton, Elon Musk, all ignored in the pursuit of efficiency and global competitiveness. Just 1 year ago, experts from AI labs predicted AGI would emerge within 10 to 15 years. Today, they're saying it will be 2 to 3 years. Tomorrow, they'll tell us it's already happening. Manus, an autonomous multi-agent AI from China, came out just a few days ago. It can complete complex multi-step tasks online like a human would, except it can do them completely autonomously and much faster than a human can. It's already claiming itself as the first AGI. By 2027, not even 2 years from now, economies could collapse, environments could crumble, and wars could erase us. Picture your family scarred by lies, your spouse lost to a machine, your world a wasteland. So how do we avoid that scenario? And how do we secure the better one instead? We need to mitigate or completely neutralize the top 10 AI threats, ranked by their potential to cause suffering or death. To be clear, these aren't abstract fears. They're grounded in trends and events happening right now. I will explain each risk with examples to show you how close we are to the edge and what we must do to pull back. At number 10, loss of privacy and mass surveillance caused by AI-enhanced spying. In the worst case scenario, this is how totalitarian governments in North Korea and even China use your personal data, your words, movements, and choices to control you. As we saw in our story, China's social credit system tracks citizens' behavior. They blacklisted 23 million people from travel in 2020 for low scores. Pegasus spyware, deployed by nations like India and Mexico, hacks phones to silence journalists and activists, often leading to arrests. Facial recognition errors, like in Detroit in 2019, misidentified suspects, leading to the wrongful arrests of innocent people. And Russia's internet censorship imprisons dissenters like Alexei Navalny, using AI to suppress opposition and maintain dictatorship. Your personal data becomes a weapon to manipulate, punish, or silence you. Free societies with authoritarian leaders in power could use AI to trap you in a cage of fearful silence, paranoia, and isolation. At number 9, we have AI-driven misinformation leading to violence and unrest. AI can generate deepfakes and propaganda so convincingly and so quickly that we'll have an even more difficult time deciphering what is true. False narratives can destabilize societies, but at its worst, as we saw with the deepfake in Gabon causing a military coup, and misinformation nearly triggering nuclear war with Vasily Arkhipov, this threat can also cause mass political manipulation, violence, and even war. However, thanks to Darren Acemoglu, Simon Johnson, and James Robinson, winners of the 2023 Nobel Prize in Economics, we know that having strong, trustworthy, and inclusive institutions is the single most important variable for a society's long-term success. Fair rules, secure property rights, and quality education are just some examples that help nations like Ireland thrive, even if they have a lack of natural resources. To tackle complex global challenges from AI governance to climate change, we need institutions that encourage fairness, truth, collaboration, and innovation. Without them, we risk extreme power imbalances. At number 8, we have mass unemployment leading to societal collapse. Rapid mass job displacement through AI automation threatens social stability when millions lose their livelihoods simultaneously. We're already seeing this in knowledge work and legal research, coding, and content creation. Without comprehensive retraining programs, effective wealth redistribution, and social safety nets, widespread unemployment leads to poverty, increased crime, and political instability. History tells us that extreme inequality almost always leads to violent revolutions. At number 7, we have biased or faulty AI systems ruining healthcare. AI healthcare systems trained on biased data can perpetuate and amplify existing inequalities. The MIT study exposing racial bias in healthcare algorithms was just the beginning. When AI triage systems decide who receives care based on flawed metrics, marginalized communities suffer disproportionately. Automated diagnostics with higher error rates could misdiagnose millions, while AI medication management systems could recommend harmful treatments. Without rigorous testing and oversight, these systems could catastrophically worsen healthcare for people who are already vulnerable, like the elderly. At 6, we have environmental collapse due to uncontrolled AI optimization. AI systems optimized for efficiency without environmental constraints can actually accelerate pollution and unsustainable use of finite resources. Data centers already consume massive energy resources, and AI training produces fairly significant carbon emissions. However, autonomous systems that maximize production or resource extraction without environmental guardrails could devastate ecosystems. AI-powered supply chains might optimize for speed and cost while ignoring sustainability. Without intentional alignment with environmental values, AI could dramatically accelerate climate change and the extinction of species. We need to remember that biodiversity affects all of our ecosystems. At 5, we have failures in critical infrastructure through unpredictable AI decisions or AI-powered cyber attacks, where autonomous systems and AI weapons or services like energy, food, water, or hospitals act in ways we didn't foresee or beyond our guardrails. Think about how much harder it would be to predict every possible outcome accurately while also protecting everyone from all of them. When has that ever happened in history? Why do we believe this time would be any different? We need a serious ramp up in the security of our most crucial infrastructure and AI cyber defense systems. At 4, we have autonomous AI weapons that select and engage targets without human intervention. They're an unprecedented threat. Unlike conventional weapons, these lethal autonomous weapons systems, or laws, can make kill decisions at machine speeds without human moral judgment. The proliferation of slaughter bots, which are small, inexpensive drones with facial recognition that can target specific individuals, could enable mass assassinations or terrorism. The barriers to entry are dropping rapidly, with commercially available drones already being weaponized in conflicts worldwide. Once deployed at scale, these weapons would be nearly impossible to recall or regulate. How are we supposed to stop a swarm of cheap killer drones? Regulation needs to happen before they can be mass produced. At number 3, an international AI arms race, which prioritizes speed over safety as nations compete for a strategic advantage. This technology competition between superpowers like the US and China is accelerating AI development without even the most basic safety measures. Military and intelligence agencies are investing heavily in offensive AI capabilities, while defensive measures are lagging far behind. This dynamic mirrors the nuclear arms race, but with technology that's far more accessible and far cheaper, making it far more dangerous. Without international coordination, competing nations will continue to lower safety standards to gain temporary advantages, increasing the likelihood of global catastrophic risks. At number 2, AI-enabled use of weapons of mass destruction, or WMDs, including bioweapons. AI makes it possible for individuals to develop WMDs because AI systems can already design new pathogens and modify them to increase transmissibility and lethality. The same tools that accelerate beneficial drug discovery can be repurposed to create engineered pandemics worse than COVID-19. Unlike nuclear weapons, bioweapon development requires little to no infrastructure and could potentially be accomplished by small groups or individuals with access to AI tools and basic lab equipment. The accessibility of this threat is another unprecedented threat multiplier. The Laws of Human Nature, a best-selling book by Robert Greene, states that about 1% of people are sociopaths, suggesting around 80 million globally, with today's population of around 8 billion. And the number of terrorists is difficult to quantify because there are varying definitions, but the number is likely in the tens or hundreds of thousands globally. How do we ensure none of these people can use AI maliciously? The safety features need to be built into the tools themselves. And at number 1, extinction caused by superintelligent or misaligned AI. This could happen if a superintelligent AI isn't properly aligned with human goals and values, and it accidentally or purposefully causes the extinction of the human race. Nick Bostrom's paperclip maximizer thought experiment illustrates this well. If an AI is not properly aligned with human values, it could inadvertently cause catastrophic harm. For example, if a superintelligent AI is simply programmed to manufacture as many paperclips as possible without ethical constraints, it might consume all available resources, including those essential for human survival, like energy and metals, to maximize paperclip production. Human extinction, thanks to paperclips. Simplistic, but this highlights how easy it would be to cause existential risks without ensuring superintelligent AI is compatible with all facets of human well-being. Having identified these existential threats, you might be wondering, why haven't these risks been addressed yet? How could AI companies and our governments allow us to get so close to the edge? Let me tell you about why our current solutions are failing. The current approaches to AI safety are failing us for 3 critical reasons. Number 1, corporations prioritize profit over safety, launch harmful products before sufficient testing, and either hide or don't fully understand their own algorithms. Tech workers have been desperately trying to tell us that their own companies can't be trusted, and many have quit their jobs in protest. Nearly half of OpenAI's safety team left the company, including co-founder Ilya Sutskever and head of alignment, John Schulman. Google forced out AI ethics researcher Timnit Gebru for raising concerns about large language model risks, including bias and environmental impact. This triggered protests and a letter signed by nearly 7,000 people, but nothing has changed. In 2025, 5 Microsoft employees were removed from a meeting with CEO Satya Nadella for protesting the company's AI contracts with the Israeli military. Their shirts read, Does our code kill kids, Satya? Biased algorithms continue to persist, as we saw when the criminal justice system used an algorithm to predict who might reoffend, but it was biased against Black defendants. Or when Amazon's hiring algorithm discriminated against women. Or when Lending Club's mortgage algorithms gave fewer loans to minorities. On top of it all, many AI systems, especially deep learning models, operate as black boxes, where even their developers don't fully understand how decisions are made. We have to ask, who's accountable when things go wrong? Even if they understood, companies keep their AI systems secret for competitive advantage, making it impossible for outside experts to check them for biases or errors. This lack of transparency prevents the oversight that we need. Simply put, these facts tell us that we cannot trust corporations to do the right thing. On the other hand, the government bureaucracies supposed to protect people are both too slow and don't have enough technical expertise. The EU AI Act was proposed in 2021, solely for Europe, by the way, and still it took 3 years for them to enter into force in 2024. Its rules for high-risk AI systems, like facial recognition, won't even fully apply until 2 to 3 years later. That delay means they can keep operating without full oversight while we wait. Only 25% of US Congress members have a STEM background, but effective AI regulation requires expertise in computer science, ethics, economics, and governance. Lastly, the race between countries to create the most advanced AI, especially the US and China, is making it impossible for the world to agree on AI safety. Countries are focused on outpacing each other for power, money, or tech bragging rights, instead of teaming up to protect us from AI's risks. This competition is not only forcing each country to put its own goals first, but it's also pushing them to move as fast as possible, skipping the necessary steps to keep AI safe. If global collaboration is impossible, we can't solve a global problem. Ultimately, traditional approaches are too slow, too bureaucratic, and too disconnected. We need something that moves quickly, stays accountable, and fosters global collaboration despite national competition. That way, we can benefit from AI while also protecting ourselves from its dangers. So how do we do that? Startup societies are the solution. We do that with these brilliant little supercharged communities called startup societies. They're mission-driven communities using technology in clever ways to solve critical problems faster than traditional institutions. Unlike both governments and corporations, they combine the agility of startups with the purpose of social movements. Balaji Srinivasan, the ex-CTO of Coinbase and ex-partner at A16Z, one of the most successful venture capital firms in the world, popularized this concept in his book, The Network State. In short, a startup society has to be driven primarily by accomplishing its mission more than by profit. The founder identifies a critical problem, then attracts and guides an online community dedicated to solving it. For example, we're tackling a big problem. Traditional governance systems can't keep up with AI's rapid evolution. So we've created a startup society to address AI's risks in months instead of years before they spiral out of control. We need 6 types of people in our online community to do this effectively. Founders bring the vision and hustle, dreaming up wild solutions to existential threats and leading the charge to make them real. Impact investors throw in the funding, betting on ideas that scale without screwing over society. AI safety researchers keep things safe, mapping the risks and building the guardrails. Policymakers craft the regulations so that our solutions to mitigate AI's risks become common practice around the world. Government agencies bring the enforcement muscle, ensuring our solutions to mitigate AI's risks are not just ideas, but actively practiced and upheld across industries. And citizens get involved, propose solutions, advocate, crowdfund, and help however they can to accelerate the growth and influence of our collective cause. Together, they're a powerhouse, turning problems into actionable solutions we benefit from quickly and securely. At Better Societies, we're putting this concept into action by building the premier global accelerator community and tools for AI safety leaders, bringing together professionals, entrepreneurs, investors, researchers, policymakers, and government agencies dedicated to solving AI's top existential threats. Our mission is to empower our members with the knowledge, networks, and tools that they need to proactively launch and accelerate AI safety startups and startup societies that specialize in developing solutions to make AI safer, ethical, and aligned with human values. They're our best shot at turning risks into resilience. Unlike standard accelerators chasing the next unicorn, we're hunting dragons by accelerating the AI safety initiatives that are tackling the greatest existential threats. While traditional accelerators like Y Combinator focus on commercial viability and AI safety organizations focus on research, Better Societies combines both approaches. We bring the structured methodology of startup accelerators specifically to AI safety initiatives, helping founders build products that are both commercially viable and ethically sound. We differentiate ourselves by emphasizing measurable outcomes. While many organizations discuss theoretical risks, we develop concrete impact metrics for evaluating AI safety solutions and track their effectiveness in the real world. We've taken the best venture studio practices from Y Combinator, A16Z, Sequoia, and others, and tailored them to be laser-focused towards AI safety. Our track record speaks volumes. I've advised hundreds of startups from YC to HubSpot, and our method of teaching led to success stories like Aval Aerospace, Sunny Day Fund, SparkPath, helping founders secure seed investments of $500K or more. We teach the exact same strategies that powered breakthrough ventures like Anthropic, Coinbase, the Future of Life Institute, and OpenAI, and driven startups like Headspace to raise $215 million and improve the mental health of over 100 million lives, or Zipline to secure $250 million and deliver life-saving medical supplies via drones, and Scale AI to garner $600 million and lead in AI data quality, which is vital for safe AI systems. Now, we're deploying these proven tactics to transform AI safety ideas into impactful, funded ventures that top VCs and accelerators like YC, A16Z, and Sequoia want to welcome. How did we create an ecosystem where startups don't just profit, but also protect humanity? We made sure our online community would help our members accomplish the mission by giving them access to elite networking with AI safety leaders like Professor Roman Yampolsky from the Cybersecurity Lab at the University of Louisville, Professor Risto Mikulainen from the University of Texas AI Lab, our top investors at events like our AI Safety Demo Day. Unlike siloed approaches that separate technologists from policymakers or investors from researchers, Better Societies creates an ecosystem where all stakeholders collaborate. This integrated approach prevents the disconnects that often plague AI governance efforts. We offer them cutting-edge research, like our report on the top 10 AI safety threats of 2025, and our quarterly intelligence briefs on topics like autonomous weapons and misaligned AI. And unlike academic institutions and think tanks that primarily produce research papers, Better Societies transforms these insights into action. While organizations like the Future of Life Institute raise awareness through open letters and policy recommendations, we go further by accelerating the development and deployment of tangible solutions. We give them personalized mentorship and advisory from mentors like myself and other entrepreneurs, investors, researchers, policymakers. Through our one-on-one coaching and expert-led group sessions, our members refine their strategies to meet their specific goals. We operate on a distributed governance model. Unlike centralized institutions that can become bottlenecks, our startup society model distributes decision-making power across a diverse community of experts. This prevents capture by any single interest group and ensures resilience and adaptability in the face of rapid technological change. We offer high-impact events like our annual AI Safety Crisis Summit and monthly webinars with experts. Tools like our AI Compliance GPT and AI Expert Marketplace dramatically reduce the cost and complexity of aligning with regulations, making safety accessible to organizations of all sizes. And of course, our 6-week accelerator program to launch ventures. With everyone involved, we solve AI risks across sectors, surveillance, misinformation, and beyond. We stay ahead with exclusive research, shape global standards through our events, and drive ethical AI that puts humanity first. The strength of our approach lies in how it serves the unique needs of each stakeholder in the AI safety ecosystem. Let's break down how Better Societies empowers you specifically to contribute to this critical mission. For entrepreneurs, this is your launchpad. Through our accelerator and mentorship, you can build AI safety startups like deepfake detectors to protect society. Our compliance tools cut your compliance costs by up to $1.2 million a year, helping you avoid penalties like the $1.7 billion lawsuit faced by Stability AI for alleged copyright infringement. And at Demo Day, you'll pitch to investors to secure the funding you need and apply to top VCs like Y Combinator, where you can secure $500K or more in seed funding. Just like hundreds of other recent AI safety startups, like Innate, that teaches your own general purpose robots, or Finnick, that uses AI to investigate financial fraud. In our accelerator, you'll scale your solutions that matter and grow your business. In week 1, you'll define your ideal customer profile using customer development and first principles thinking, refining your product offering with data-driven feedback and focused metrics. In week 2, you'll evaluate your market opportunity by breaking down potential customer segments and sizing your target market. In week 3, you'll learn from industry experts to build loved products that people love and comply with AI safety regulations, achieving product market fit. In week 4, you'll master the same pitch and presentation skills used by visionaries and sales experts like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Simon Sinek, and Alex Hormozi to sell your vision effectively. In week 5, you'll discover how to recruit and retain top talent by crafting an irresistible mission and creating streamlined hiring and onboarding systems. And in week 6, you'll optimize your fundraising process by mastering the best practices for securing investment from accelerators, angels, VCs, cryptocurrency, or crowdfunding. By the end of the program, you'll have a clear, purposeful mission, an optimal product that sells, and the resources you'll need to combat AI's existential risks at scale. For our investors, you'll find vetted AI safety ventures ready for your capital. Our research helps you spot opportunities and reduce risks, while mentoring founders lets you guide the next wave of innovation. You'll fund ethical AI that delivers strong returns and real impact. Researchers, you're the backbone of this mission. You'll partner with startups to apply your work to real-world problems, access and contribute to cutting-edge studies like our AI Alignment Failures Report, and present at our events to influence global standards. Your research won't just sit on a shelf. It'll change the world. Policymakers, you'll craft evidence-based laws using our research and events, network with experts to gather insights, and watch our accelerator to monitor trends. You'll shape AI governance that actually keeps pace with the tech and improves upon benchmarks like the EU AI Act or the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. Government agencies, you'll pilot solutions with startups, enforce rules efficiently using state-of-the-art monitoring and audit tools, and stay informed with actionable research. You'll protect the public without getting bogged down in bureaucracy. By integrating all of these offerings in one place, we empower every member to convert AI's potential risks into opportunities for prosperous, secure, and sustainable innovation. However, there's something else you need to know. Before you tell yourself, well, that isn't me, what can I do? Or why should I care? Allow me to expand our perspective just for a moment. Because in order to understand why this moment is so pivotal and what happens if we get it wrong, we need to zoom out, both through history and into the cosmos. Throughout 200,000 years of human existence, we've witnessed just 5 transformative technological revolutions that fundamentally altered our trajectory. Fire warmed us, cooked our food, and kept predators at bay, fundamentally boosting our survival. Agriculture anchored us to the land, sparking settled societies, population booms, and specialized labor. The Industrial Revolution, mechanized work, birthing factories, cities, and modern economies. The internet wired the globe, making information and connection instantaneous and universal. And now AI, automating decisions, reshaping industries, and set to outthink us entirely. What's striking isn't just this progression, it's acceleration. You'll notice the last 3 revolutions occurred within just 250 years, with the final 2 compressed into merely 40 years, a microscopic instant in humanity's timeline. This isn't linear progress, it's exponential growth that our minds struggle to comprehend. Let's consider an AI with the collective intelligence of humanity's 10 brightest minds, but it's thinking a billion times faster than a human. In our single second of contemplation, this AI experiences 32 years of thought, enough time to consume all human knowledge, solve our most perplexing scientific challenges, and develop strategies beyond our imagination. This mismatch is our first challenge, comprehending the sheer velocity of change barreling toward us. Futurists like Ray Kurzweil call this cognitive disparity a singularity, a threshold where known rules collapse and prediction becomes impossible, just like in the center of a black hole, where gravity warps into the infinite and the unpredictable. We can't see through it. The other side is a mystery. Because unlike previous tools, from fire to computers, that have always been extensions of us, amplifying our strength or speed, but remaining under our control, AI is different. AI decides for itself what's best. For the first time, we're creating something with its own agency, something that could outsmart us in every domain, from science to strategy. It's already shaping our lives, and it already holds the power to end them. We've never been through anything quite like this, so it begs the question, why not? From a cosmic perspective, this moment may represent what astronomers call a great filter, a decisive juncture determining whether a civilization advances to interstellar existence or extinguishes itself. Throughout the vast universe, despite billions of potentially habitable planets, we observe a conspicuous silence. It may be the case that advanced civilizations fail at precisely this inflection point, when their technology outpaces their wisdom. This is the fork in the road we now face. 2 possible futures, one of abundance, progress, and innovation, one of chaos, collapse, and suffering. And right now, we are deciding which one we step into. As William Gibson put it, the future is already here. It's just unevenly distributed. AI isn't good or evil. It's power. And power without direction is destruction. That's why we're building better societies. Not a think tank, not a debate club, a startup society, an accelerator, a launch pad for real solutions. If you're a founder, an entrepreneur, investor, researcher, or government agency, or just someone who refuses to sit back and watch this unfold, you belong with us. And all you have to do to start is join our free community. It's where we share the latest in AI risks and solutions. Inside, you'll learn how to build AI safety startups that protect humanity, craft policy frameworks that prevent catastrophe, conduct research that turns risks into resilience, and join an entire ecosystem, a movement dedicated to making sure AI benefits everyone, not just an elite few. We need builders, thinkers, doers, people like you. Remember that some of the most pivotal moments in history came down to one person's actions. In 1930, Gandhi's decision to start marching for salt pressured an empire, united an independent nation, and inspired humanity. In 1955, Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her bus seat changed the civil rights movement for all African Americans. And in 2012, at just 15 years old, Malala Yousafzai was shot for refusing to accept Taliban oppression. Instead of backing down, she doubled down on her advocacy and rebalanced the scales of educational inequality for countless girls around the world. These individual people have proven that even the smallest gesture, when rooted in purpose and unity, can topple the mightiest powers. This moment, right now, is ours. It's our time to act. Future generations will look back at this moment and judge whether we stood on the right side of history, because the next 5 years will define the next 1,000 years. So, what will you do? Sit back and wait while our world lets greed plunge us all into nothingness? Or, like our greatest explorers, pause, just for a beat, to decide which side of history you want to be on, for yourself and for those you want to protect most. And then join me in taking one tiny step for man, but one massive leap for humanity. Thank you.
Thank you. That was really compelling. Yeah, you make me feel like I want to go home and hug my children on one side, but also really thankful to know that people like you exist. So thank you for everything that you're doing, first of all. That was really compelling storytelling. I think you probably feel the same way. I'm sure everyone have heaps of questions, so I'm going to hand over to everyone else, but I also have some questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll open up the floor to everyone else. Anyone have any burning questions?
Yes. Okay, so for everyone listening, the question is for a specific example of what this looks like in practice with actionable steps. So to clarify, we are the platform for all of the people creating the solutions to come together and collaborate with the other people that they need to be able to implement those solutions. We don't create the solutions ourselves. But one example that people I think would understand easily is deepfakes are produced by all these different AI models, and they're extremely easy to produce. You've all probably already made them on your computers. And actually, we had a presentation going over Aragon AI and how you can create headshots for yourself, right? So one example of a solution to that problem is using digital watermarking, which would be implemented by the actual companies that create these deepfakes and regulated and enforced by the government agencies and audited regularly to make sure that they're actually sticking to that solution, right? And then, there's autonomous drones that could be sending medical supplies to people in need. They're using AI for those drones. We need to make sure that that AI is safe and isn't going to be repurposed for another nefarious purpose. So yeah, does that answer your question? It's possible that we could create a tool that would scan the whole internet and be able to decipher whether it is a deepfake or not, potentially, right? I don't think it would be realistic to stop the generation of deepfakes completely, right? So we need a solution that would be able to deal with the consequences of already proliferated deepfake technology. It depends on what's the solution, right? So a lot of them are feasible, but we don't have the right founder. We don't have the right funding. We don't have the right researcher. We don't have the right advisory board, right? So we don't have the right government agency to enforce. So that's why all of these ideas are to attract as many of these people as possible into the community so that they can execute. We kind of know actually what the solutions would need to be, but they need to be acted on. Yeah, it's kind of both, right? Because the policymakers are already acting, right? Some government agencies are already acting. The EU AI Act is being enforced, but it's slow, right? And so the more that we can attract people who might not be able to build the solution, but might be able to regulate the solution effectively or enforce the solution effectively, that's still valuable and should be spread. Let's take another question and we can come back if, yep.
So I have a very specific question. In the first part of the presentation, we saw that one risk is taking over the autonomous cars. However, I did not see it like in the list of the 10 major threats. Is it because it's not such a big threat currently, or is it because we already have the tools to prevent that?
I think it would fall under the cyber attack, massive cyber attack, right? If autonomous cars could all suddenly be turned into killing machines, that would fall under that threat. So the question is, if the tooling of AI and all these different facets, education, et cetera, are a good or a bad thing, right? Well, it's definitely a good thing if the outcomes are good. I think a useful framework that I use to think about this, right, is from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If we are just thinking of ourselves as humans that have certain needs, safety, belonging, et cetera, then we can just look at every solution or product out there and ask ourselves, does that help us have those needs accomplished or not, right? Is it against them? Is it a threat to them in any way? So if it's something that's purely an education tool and helping people learn math, great. If it's helping people learn how to manufacture bioweapons, not good. So it really depends on the capability of what the tools allow for in their safety protocols. So the question is, if people, especially programmers, are missing out on some skill set because AI is making it so easy for them to learn what they need to learn. Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of a catch-22 because if you don't learn the tools, you will be left behind. If you do learn the tools, you will forget the fundamentals. And I think that's just bound to happen. The CEO of Anthropic, Dario Amodei, already talks about the fact that he thinks pretty much all code will be written by AI in 1 year from now. Yeah, so the EU AI Act is actually quite good. It's pretty comprehensive, but an example of why that's not good enough is because it's just for Europe, for one, and two, in the United States, we have what's called the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. And it's just a guideline. It's just a guide to help companies make AI safer, but it's not legally binding in any way. The EU AI Act is an actual law, right? So if you do break it, you will have severe regulatory fines, and they structured the fines based on risk, which is quite good. But ahead of that, and to answer the follow-up question is, we need much more strict regulations that are much more global, right? Because, I mean, Mistral AI is probably the only big name coming out of Europe right now, and all of the others are in China or the US. So if neither of those players sticks by global rules that we mutually agree upon, like we did with nuclear weapons, there's no telling what will happen. At the same time, it's very difficult to trust that these superpowers aren't doing whatever they want, because it's much more difficult to see or spy to figure out the training of an AI system than it is a nuclear weapons program. The way to think about it is there's 4 levels of threat, right? So the most severe threats, even like facial recognition, which we talked about as a lead to threat number 10 with surveillance state, is part of that, right? So all of the like autonomous weapons killing or deepfake or any outcome that they've theorized will cause AI's existential threats are part of that legislation. But I don't think a fine is enough to stop that, right? Even like Stability AI, which I don't know if you're familiar with, is an image generation, or started as an image generation AI company. And they trained themselves on a bunch of images that they probably didn't have legal ownership of. And they got, at worst, faced a $1.7 billion lawsuit, which to them probably doesn't actually matter that much, right? That's why I really think that the government agencies enforcing these things, auditing, monitoring consistently, and making sure that the legislation is followed is the most important piece. The legislation is less important, really. Like, you know, it's not very difficult to see all of the things that need to be implemented or theorized to be implemented. It's very difficult to implement them. Yeah. So the question is if there's a way to effectively get all of the countries internationally to forget the prisoner's dilemma and actually cooperate in a meaningful way. So better societies wouldn't be the regulatory body there, right? Or the enforcement agency. What we would do is help a bunch of the experts come together to then actually advocate at an organization like the UN or a bigger organization that's an international regulatory body that has some enforcement arm. Now, I'm not kidding myself that the US and China are much more powerful than the UN. And at the end of the day, they will do what they want to do. The best hope really is that we as humanity see that it's just no good outcome if we keep going down this route, just like we did with nuclear war. And there was some nuclear deproliferation after, but it's still something that's constantly struggled. And so it would need some kind of similar structure that would be pushed and enforced by the most powerful international regulations that we can. And as a separate strategy that I think we're also seeing now with tariff wars is other countries that come together into their own coalitions like a NATO of sorts and exclude countries that are not abiding by the international AI safety regulations that we've set. So if you don't respect these laws, you can't do trade with us or anybody who is a member of this coalition. Okay, so the question is, if there are countries that don't respect the international body, is there any way to stop them besides that, right? And also, hackers are the primary asset to these countries right now, and so they're going to be recruited by the best players until they run out. And then what will happen then if AI continues on? Okay. Throughout this work, I find it very helpful to balance the idealism with the realism, right? Because idealistically, we need to shoot for the standards, the laws, the best possible outcome that we can actually do, because that already isn't enough, right? But it's the best that we can do. So at least we get some risks taken care of. At the same time, I'm a big fan of Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, and I think that's a really good framework to look at the ways that these countries are valuing and moving in their success metrics or their power metrics, as he puts it. And so there will be no foolproof way to stop secrets from happening. And governments, I mean, even in the United States, right, the CIA has done so many things that are very, very illegal and secretly, or not so secretly. And so I think the more pressure that we as citizens and countries and corporations that are powerful can put on these actors, the better, right? Especially because a lot of these actors don't have a moral compass. They're not doing this for moral, ethical reasons. And so unless they're forced by some other entity to stop what they're doing, they won't. They'll continue. And for the hackers, this is where really thinking deeply about the incentives that individuals like hackers who are powerful and will become more powerful as time goes on becomes really important, right? We don't want hackers to be incentivized to use their skills for malice. We want them to be incentivized to use their tools for good, like with white hat hackers and black hat hackers now. And so a government program that sponsors or gives them more of an incentive would be one way to do that. Great question. So the question is, if we don't even agree on what human values are, even nationally, how are we supposed to agree on human values internationally? I have two answers to this question. The first is from Brian Johnson, actually, if you've heard of him, who's starting a movement called Don't Die. And the reason that he's starting and popularizing this movement is because Don't Die is a quantifiable metric that most of humanity would probably agree upon. So, when it comes to philosophy, psychology, etc., our values differ greatly internationally. But most people don't want to die. And that's something that we can measure in what we do and what we program AI to do. So if AI increases the don't die risk metrics, then that's bad AI. If they optimize or lengthen the health span of a human, that is good AI. So that's one framework that's being used to think about, just in its simplest terms, what is the right direction that we should be moving towards as a whole. And then the second part of this answer is, internationally, we will have some standards, I'm sure, just like the criminal court for crimes against humanity. But nationally, we'll also have our own laws. Locally, we'll have our own laws. And this is where being an engaged citizen and advocating for what is important to you in your community and what you will allow and what you won't allow will become really important. It's much, much easier to govern your life, your family's life, your household or building, your neighborhood, your city, than it is to govern other states, other countries, etc. So I would focus on what immediately impacts you day to day and prioritize that over the rest. Completely. Yeah. Yeah. So the question or the comment to comment on here is that our leaders today are not inspiring confidence when it comes to international collaboration and safety, and certainly not in comparison to during the Cuban Missile Crisis. What do we do about that? So I'm gonna share some facts that might make you feel a little bit worse about this first, but hopefully better after. So also, as part of the laws of human nature, Robert Greene talks about how many narcissists are in the world. And there's a Harvard professor, I forget the name, who has done some really good work on explaining why narcissists tend to find themselves in positions of power. There's a lot of different factors that lead to that. So I'm sure we can all think of a couple that are in positions of power right now. And while once they're in power, it's very difficult to change that, there are some more grassroots things that we can do to change the systems that lead to them getting to positions of power, right? And it's kind of like the old history lesson in that if you want to lead, you shouldn't be the leader, right? But the people who would be great leaders don't want to lead. And so what that tells us is our younger generations and our generations today need to be more involved in governance. At least the American education system used to have civics as part of the education system. That is no longer, and yet it's probably the most important thing that we need in order to collaborate internationally and nationally right now. So the grassroots things we can do is the education. We can set up systems in local governance models where if someone is putting themselves up or using certain amounts of money or party systems, right? Things that make the system of governance unbalanced should be regulated and changed to promote the outcomes that we want, much more so than they are currently. But I don't have a good answer for you. I mean, there's not much that we can do once they're already in power other than to get other countries together and pressure them not to do what we don't want them to do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I noticed in your startup society's vision or model, there was possibly an intentional omission of corporates as the ecosystem stakeholders there. Is that intentional to be omitting them? And if so, what do you perceive their role to be in the future? Because at least in this country, all startups look to a larger corporate to partner with, or to be invested in, to scale out, right?
Yeah. So it's not intentional, but as we saw with the corporations being part of the problem, it's kind of like, well, here's the thing that we need to fix. We've trusted you to fix it. You haven't fixed it. Now help us fix it, right? And so the goal with the startup societies model is that it's distributing that governance, that transparency, and showing everyone like this is our mission. If we don't all agree on these proposals because they don't bring us closer to the mission, then they don't get executed. And, right, it's bringing those safety experts as part of the community so that they can keep others in check. And they're not just one expert, so they can't be corrupted as easily. But no, we will need corporate help for sure, right? If corporations want to continue to profit, we'll need a world to profit from. So they will have to help in funding a lot of these things. And actually, the better way for corporates to get involved is to take the first step and show, hey, we're going out first to show you our commitment to AI safety. And that becomes a good branding move for you long term, right? If you're hiding and not getting involved, then just like we've seen in recent news and in other ways, if people don't agree with you and what you're trying to do because you're not helping us towards AI safety, they maintain the right to boycott or riot or protest. And they should, because we're already so far behind that any progress against us is detrimental at this stage. We really need everything that we can to get moving in the positive direction as fast as possible. And anything that's holding back or deterring from that should be eliminated.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk for hours. But
Yeah.
once again, thanks. Yeah, you've clearly done your homework. So hats off to you. And you're clearly approaching an extremely large and important problem. So yeah, I always respect people that are trying to achieve something on the bigger scale. So all the best to you. Thank you again for the
Thank you.
compelling presentation. I think I can speak for all of us that was pretty moving. And yes, hopefully we have the positive outcome. But yeah, thanks again, seriously. So another round of applause.
Thank you.